Hello once again and welcome back to another episode of Father and Sundays, the unexplainable guide to absolutely nothing. We are on episode 98.
98, we're getting near.
Yep, and we're talking about rivers today.
Great.
So stick around if you want to hear more. Well, hello again, Dad or David.
Hello, Connor or son. Lots more energy this week. I mean...
No, last week I was energised. You're thinking about the week before.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying this particular week you seem to be... you might have to do sort of some, well, not so random drug test after this. You seem very up.
Can I just say, I felt quite good about last week's episode.
Did you?
Yeah. And at the time we're recording, this is Mother's Day. Mum's out, hence the reason we're recording this. And if you haven't yet already... It's a good one to listen to. I appreciate it won't be Mother's Day at that point, but it's a good one to listen to.
I did enjoy doing it. I think when we enjoy doing it, they sound better.
It's when we interviewed Annie.
That was quite funny. Yeah.
That was very funny.
Nice to have her on there anyway. I bet as it is today, Mother's Day, but as we're recording the next one, I bet you've absolutely spoilt your mum today, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've done all the things that we talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What time's the bungee jump?
Yeah.
And flash mob.
Yep.
So I was ticking off a list this morning. I ended up going and making her a cup of tea this morning because you weren't up. There was no bugles on the stair.
No, I did do bugles.
Well, I didn't hear them at all.
I did bugles.
And then there was no biscuits.
Mum thought it was a
As far as
trumpet.
I know, you haven't made her a cup of tea in any size mug, let alone a huge mug. So you've got a bit of time left today. I'm looking forward to seeing...
It's Mother's Day, not Mother's Morning.
I know. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. Right. Anyway. How's
your week been?
My week? Well, I've not been at work this week, which to a certain extent has made me realise that when I retire, if only I could retire, but when I do retire, I really do need to find things to do. Like I really need to have a plan of action, because it will drive me round.
You might have to start a second podcast.
Yeah, about being retired.
Yeah,
yeah. But I will need to find things to do because I find it really, really difficult to just sit and do nothing, which is what other people. And it's great if other people can do that, but I can't. So that's one thing I've found out this week. We tried our suits on, didn't we?
Yep.
So we've been putting that off for a little while because we thought.
This is for Becky's wedding, just
Becky's
to highlight.
Wedding that comes up at the beginning of first.
He's invited too.
Yeah, he is there, yeah. How did that go for you?
It was a bit small.
Yep. Bit more like a morph suit, wasn't it, that you had on?
Not quite, but you could clearly see the definition of my bum cheeks.
Which, a wedding, no one wants to see.
Well, see, it's not that bad. I mean, I have got a lovely bum, but...
yeah. But
I had a fear that I'd sit down and they'd split.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. But unfortunately,
do you remember when that happened
when
I was at work? When I worked in
it's happened to you a number of times, isn't it?
I worked in a shop at the time.
Yep.
Superdrug. Other shops are available.
Yep.
No, that's fine. You go to Superdrug. It's fine. And I was working behind the tills and I bent down to get something and my trousers split. And I had to do the rest of the day with split trousers. And they gradually split even more.
Wow.
And when I got home, I was able to fit my head through the hole.
And you tried, did you?
Yeah.
What way you still had them on?
I remember, no, because I came in, because I tied something around my waist, and I came in, and I came up to this room, because it was Becky's room at the time, and I walked in with the trousers on my head, with my head through the hole.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear, oh dear.
But yeah, I don't want that to
she
happen.
moved out?
Yeah, it was. No, because that was way before the pandemic.
But we're gonna have to do a few little bits and pieces with the suits, aren't we? But looking sharp.
Yeah, they do look good though.
They do look good. So we just need to have a little think about how we want to do that. Just a couple of other little bits. One of the things that I noticed, I always impressed that you work hard during the day and then you come home when you work in the evenings. I work with some people and you work hard on bits and pieces. I came into your room. I don't usually come into your room and get invited to walk up towards where you are because I try and keep off the camera because you're on there with other people. I was a bit alarmed to see that you were having a meeting with some sort of pirate in the week.
Yes.
Which, I don't know what sort of work you undertake in the evenings, but I'm a little bit concerned about
it's this other little side project, but the we were using Google Meets, and you've got the ability to add filters on there, and it's hilarious. It's just fun, and we end up sitting and having these meetings or sitting on these calls with these filters on the entire time.
Really?
Yeah.
I see. I did not know that. I thought you were totally professional, and it seems that's not the case.
It's a recent thing. So
it's a recent.
It's only been the last two things that we had filters on the entire time.
Always pirates, or is
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Not always pirates.
No. And the only other thing I meant to say was, come on, you Irons, because we won 4-0.
Yeah.
Seems like every time I come on here, we either lose 4-0 or we win 4-0. So we played some team that I think most of their players were like sort of, I don't know, shop assistants and postmen and all sorts of things. I don't think they're professional. I think they're semi-pro maybe even. But yeah, we gave them a good battering, so that's good. So I look forward to next time when I'll probably have to say we've lost 4-0 again.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's all I had, really.
Yeah.
You?
Well, you've mentioned some of my bits, but it's been a very, very busy week.
Very, very busy.
Very, very tiring.
Yeah.
Got home. Do you know what happens when you have a tiring week?
Well, you're tired.
You're tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was tired.
Yeah.
And now it's the weekend.
It is the weekend.
That's how the weeks work.
Well, you certainly sound full of energy, so I'm looking forward to this today. Or we might trough halfway through, but we'll see. We'll keep pushing.
Yeah, I peaked already.
Have you?
Yeah, peaked already.
What are we talking about today?
Rivers.
Right. Do you know what a river is?
No.
Right. Well, I've got a couple of.
I do know what a river is, but I just thought you might have a bit of information on it.
I've got a definition. I've got a couple of definitions. You see which one you think's the official one and which isn't.
What one you made up?
A large natural stream of water flowing in a channel to the sea, a lake, or another river. For example, stream, creek, or brook. Like the sea, only smaller, shallower, and a bit less rough.
But they're both of them, yeah?
Yep.
I feel like the first one might have been the legitimate one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like the second one might have been made up by you.
Right.
What I like to think of rivers is if you think of water as the thing that keeps us alive, water is the blood.
The blood.
That pumps around the earth, that supplies oxygen and other vital things to the world.
Wow.
Therefore, the rivers are
blood. Rivers of blood.
No.
What then?
Veins and arteries.
Ah, the tributaries are capillaries and
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it feeds the world, because if we just have a look at these massive, like we've got the ocean, it's there. We've got reefs, they're there. They're great. They're fantastic. They do loads for the planet. But if you didn't have those rivers, what would happen to that big body of Earth?
Yeah, but the thing is, often when you see sort of satellite pictures,
we wouldn't be alive.
No, we wouldn't. When you see satellite pictures of landmass and the rivers and that running through, it does look like veins going through.
Yeah, or a leaf.
And you often find, I mean, civilizations going sort of way back, civilizations would build around a river because it's important for supplies coming in. Coming in on boats. It's a source for, I guess, you can't survive without fresh water, and this is what we're talking about, fresh water. So you can't survive without it, so it's a source for that. It's a source
of movement as well.
Yes.
Think about your early water mills.
And farming.
Yeah.
Irrigation of agriculture and such like. Wow, 2 big words in that sentence there.
What, such like? Was such like one of them?
Yeah, that was, no, there's 3 then, wasn't there? So, like, and animals will be drawn to the water. I suppose early man, animals will be drawn to water, and men or women or anything else will be drawn to the animals for food, domestication, pets, things like that. You know, stuff like that. But it really is when you think about. So you think about. England, our own capital city.
I'm going to have to stop you right there just for a moment.
Yeah.
What we're doing is, it sounds like right now we're preaching about rivers being this almighty power.
But they are quite important.
Yeah, no, but the way we're saying it is almost like we're standing in the middle of the high street preaching about rivers.
Some sort of board on me saying, look after your rivers.
And a megaphone.
Am I speaking too loudly then as well?
No, I'm not saying that.
No, but the fact is that when you look at the capital city of England being London, and you've got the Thames running through London, you think about Paris, you think about Germany, all these big cities. If you think about
Can
Cairo,
you keep saying if you think about?
Yeah, all right. All of these great cities that often are built around a water source, around the river, or originally were.
Is there a river running through Paris?
Yeah.
Is there a river running through Berlin?
Yeah.
There is a river in Warsaw, I know that.
There'll pretty much be a river running through all large cities. So, if you think Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland, it's quite near to the coast, but you've got a river that runs through it. You've got Cardiff. You've got, this all around the world. It is such an important thing. Yeah. Anyway, so 2 of the longest rivers are which?
Oh, I didn't realise this was going to come.
Well, I wasn't going to, but I was just going to try and engage you in this.
The Amazon River.
The Amazon River, yeah.
Yeah, made by Amazon, sponsored by them. And
what's the other?
Is
big
it
one?
the Nile?
It is the Nile. So there's been quite a lot of debate over many years about which of those 2 is the longest. I think for quite some time people thought the Nile was the longest, probably because they couldn't access some of the Amazon river because of the nature of where it is.
Amazon's very windy path.
And it's really, really difficult for them to actually measure the length of these things anyway. It's not.
It's a bit silly though. It is really easy. All you got to do is you got to throw a stick in it.
Poo stick sort of thing.
Yeah, throw a stick with it with a tape measure attached to one end.
Yeah.
And just wait for it to come out the other end.
Well, this is it. This is it. If you want to know more information about the Amazon, episode 77, and even ancient Egypt and the Nile, that's episode 53. So if you want to go back, I just thought I'd throw that in. They're almost identical in length, over 6,500 kilometres long. But what they've basically said now, because they've got more sophisticated measuring techniques, like better sticks and things like that to throw in the water, they have measured, and the Amazon is slightly longer. It's really weird that they're both very similar in length.
So my boss the other day, we're sitting in work, and we're talking about moving desks around this room.
Yeah.
And my boss has messaged one of my colleagues and said, "Oh yeah, I measured the desks the other day, and they're about 9 of my hand lengths long."
Really? 9, so hang on. So 9 just hands.
Yeah,
hands. Not from tip of finger to tip of finger. If you stretch your arms out, it's actually the hands.
Yeah, hands. And I was like, well, that's a really useful measurement. So I'm quite sarcastic. So I got my colleague to message back saying, "Can you send us a picture of your hands?" And then they added so they can measure themselves. My colleague's got very little hands, so her hands reached a lot. She had a lot more hands reach over the desk, and I had about 8.5 hands.
See,
but this is the difficulty of measuring things in hands.
We've talked about
how many hands do you think the Amazon is?
I wouldn't like to say. I mean, obviously, if it's a normal person's hands, it'll be so much. I think.
Sorry, Dad. A normal person's hands.
Right. If it's someone like someone I work with, Christian, it'll be
Christian
a phenomenal amount of hands because of them being so tiny. So, that is a dangerous way to do things. You really do need to have a uniformed sort of measurement system, don't you? Otherwise, it's all going to go out the window. You could end up with all sorts of desks.
Because we're talking about moving some things around the room to be able to fit more desks in. And she says, "Yeah, it's about 9 of my hands."
9 of her hands.
This doesn't help. What? She was at home at the time, so it doesn't help at all. We can't even get her to come in so we can measure her hands. She might even have one hand
bigger than the other as well.
This is true. This is true.
Oh.
I didn't mean to knock the mic there.
Yeah.
Well, one of my hands is bigger than the other.
Well, there you go then. So even that could... these fractions
actually,
like that...
that's quite a lot of difference. Can you see that?
That is, you freak. Anyway, getting back on the rivers... Do you know which one's the widest?
Bigger than my left hand.
I'm going to have to try mine in a minute, but I'm holding something at the moment.
What are you holding?
It's a security thing. Security thing? Yeah.
Anxiety thing?
Security said I've got to keep hold of it. It's like a security blanket, is what I was trying to say. Do you know which one is the undisputed widest river?
The Amazon.
It is the Amazon. at one point it's 40 kilometres. That's 25 miles wide. And that's when you start looking at, you go to places and you see these big expanses like
from here to Basildon is 13 miles.
Yeah. So it's
like
like it's almost
distance.
like the sea. You could obviously be on one side of it and not be able to see the other side of it. So that's when you go to places.
Still a river?
You see big expanses of water. And when does it become a lake? When is a lake's I suppose fed from other things anyway. But anyway, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? I've got a little bizarre fact for you, right? Just to finish off for a second, right? Between late 1811 and mid-1812, the Mississippi Valley experienced several severe earthquakes in quick succession. It was so intense that the Mississippi River started flowing backwards for 3 days.
Whoa, mental. But that happens quite often where rivers flow back.
It tends to be
other way.
earthquakes. I think we talked about the Amazon and the fact that because of some seismic activity, it did flow one way, and then after some mountains suddenly shot up, it rolls the other way now.
Well, it's tidal, isn't it, as well? Like, as in, if we're in the estuary of the Thames, yeah, and sometimes it will be flowing towards London when the tide's coming in, but other times it will be flowing out of London.
Right.
How animals work. Number 4. The duck. Duck, derived from the Old English word is a term used for a single sighting of this river-dwelling creature. If more than one is seen in the same vicinity, then the words ducks is commonly used. A duck is highly toxic and gives off a nasty electric shock if touched. Their closest relatives are beavers due to their protruding front teeth.
You like ducks, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ducks.
Ducks.
If you're from certain parts of the country,
you're
ducks.
a bit of a duck
ducks, quack,
warrior.
Quack, quack, quack.
Whisperer.
Warrior?
Yeah. You're not a duck warrior, as far as I know. You're a bit of a duck whisperer.
Warrior.
Whisperer, because wherever you go,
ducks
you
follow
seem to
me.
attract ducks, don't you?
Yeah, they follow me around the zoo.
Be really careful about that. What we've just heard about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not lying. There's been multiple. It's all normally zoos for some reason, but on multiple occasions in zoos.
Electrocutions.
No, ducks have followed me around the zoo.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, no, I have.
More
We've got
than one
pictures.
occasion. I think about 3 times.
I think places we've got loads of pictures, and then you'll have a picture of a duck, then you'll have a picture of a duck nearer, then you'll have a picture of a duck next to you.
Yeah, like pretty much between my legs. Do you know I've got a picture of me at a club?
No, I don't remember them pictures.
I've got a picture of
Watch
me.
out for them 2 big sharp front teeth.
I've got a picture of me at a club.
With a duck?
Posing with a picture of a duck on my phone.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I took a picture of a duck.
All right.
From the zoo.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
The photographer liked it.
Well, talking of wildlife, who did?
The photographer.
The photographer.
At the club.
Oh, there was an actual bloke at the club taking photographs.
It was a bloke.
Yeah, right. But you said he liked it.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's normally male photographers in clubs. There was one time that there was a female photographer in a club, and she took a lot of pictures of me. And I feel like that goes for the sex appeal a little bit less. Take a picture of a load of blokes at a club rather than a load of girls.
Right. Not quite sure what you're saying here. What say that again.
Well, I've noticed that a lot of the times at clubs,
yeah,
they take pictures of girls.
Yeah.
They take more pictures of girls than guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where I would say when there was a time there was a female photographer at a club and she took probably more of an even split.
And that's not what the club wants, really. They want to...
Probably, yeah.
They want clubs to... Because I guess in the very basic side of it, they want clubs to appear to have loads of young girls in them. So blokes think, oh, I'll go there. Look at all the girls
yeah, because in reality, and this is very much a straight stereotype, in reality, I would say that guys will go to a club because there's girls there, and girls will go to a club for a good time.
With their girlfriends, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sad species, aren't we, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, wildlife. Veered off slightly, didn't it?
Microphone.
Headbutt it. So, we talked about ducks, but the wildlife around rivers. It's a very good... And in rivers. It's a very good sort of, is it the word like a barometer of, or a guide to how healthy that?
Did you say word barometer earlier? I don't know if you said it to me in person or whether you said it on the
I think I
recording
said
already.
it when we were just talking about stuff.
Oh, when you asked, is the word barometer is the one I'm looking for?
No, I just said that then. That's what you remember from then, but that's... All right, look. It's a good guide to how healthy that river is, yeah?
Yeah.
So you got like fish, mammals, birds...
Fish
mammals. Anything that
They're basically
got,
dolphins and whales.
No, but any animal that resides, lives in, above, or around a water source, a river, it's going to be. You often see on telly when they talk about particular wildlife making a comeback, sort of thing.
Yeah, and it also depends on the chemistry around that water as well. Like you got those chalk rivers.
Yeah,
you got very different life that lives in a chalk river than to another river.
Yeah, and that literally is about where in the world it is, because obviously whatever's it cuts through is going to be,
and it is about cutting through, because water can both be the saviour of life and the destroyer of life.
Well, I mean, obviously we see a lot of issues with it. With floods now, and the fact that
it quite literally sculpts our land, water.
It does, and I find it. You know, when you start thinking about, like in England, one of my favourite places in England is Cheddar Gorge, and you know,
because of the cheese.
It's because of everything about it. It just looks incredible. But you know, when you start thinking, when you start thinking about the fact that the water flowed through that.
It's near Wookey Hole, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it's mind-blowing when you think that it's created for all these different natural phenomena.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, I mean, you got fish, mammals, birds, etc., blah, blah, blah. Obviously, more exotic creatures in different parts of the world will be by the water source, which is both dangerous and... lovely to see, because if you see it on there, although we only call them exotic, don't we? They wouldn't be exotic to the people there, to the people that live there, because they see them all the time.
Do you think people in Brazil would call water voles exotic?
Well,
or beavers,
by the principle of us looking at alligators, crocodiles, you know, things like that. Yeah, surely they would. We don't think it's spectacular because we don't see them every day, but we're aware they're there and they live around us. But from someone from another part of the world, that's going to be something very exotic, isn't it?
But kingfishers feel exotic.
Well, kingfishers are incredible looking birds, and also, I think...
You'll get in trouble with Mum for saying it.
Yeah, I probably would do. I think anything that's... I mean, quite clearly we have them, but it's not something you see very easily. You have to really be patient and know where to look and all that to see these things. I mean, we were somewhere on a sort of rowing boat down a river in Dorset.
You seem to, at one point there, sorry to interrupt, but you seem to break off of the word river there and get bored of saying it.
Did I?
You went river.
In the river. And we saw sort of flashes of blue-green sort of in the reeds, flying about in the reeds. So they were kingfishers, but they're so fast and they're so sort of elusive to the naked eye that, you know, in a way they become more exotic, because it's something that if you do actually get a glimpse of them, it's such an amazing thing. It's a bit even like
the beaver.
Well, exactly. And we're big
beaver fans.
Beaver fans. In fact, I would say, out of everybody I know, we are at the top of the Beaver Appreciation Society. In fact, we probably are president and treasurer. But we might have talked about this before, but we went to a place where they've reintroduced beavers.
Is this related to the...
I know, you can't believe
the
that.
Club talk from earlier.
Yeah. They've reintroduced them, And so it's the thought of seeing these animals and seeing them in the... All right, it's a slightly manufactured sort of environment for them, but because they want to, because of how much good they could, because they're seen as being very destructive, beavers and blah, blah, blah.
They do have them enclosed, don't they?
That's because if they... Yeah, they do. But
that's because there's a lot of lakes there that they could mess up.
Well, there's a lot of damage they can do. They do an awful lot of what we would see as damage, or if you owned farmland around there, you know. Anyway, but the thrill of seeing them is immense, and we were lucky enough to go on one of the lakes and in a kayak and see them on the bank. We'd heard them quite a lot, but see them and then followed one as it swam right across the lake. Incredible. Made our day. You know, I think we've got photos of it.
Related to ducks, aren't they?
Huh?
Related to ducks.
Yes, they are. They are related to ducks. Sorry, I forgot about that already. But, you know, the fact that they are comfortable there, the fact that otters, you know, I'd love to see otters in the wild. We haven't seen that.
Go to Otter World.
Otter World. Yeah, nice callback. This is getting good, this. But, I think when we were in the same sort of place where the beavers were, there was a place near to there that was the otters, but we never did get to see them. But
actually, no, there were otters there as well, weren't there?
There were, but we didn't.
We'd never seen the otters.
We never see the otters. But that would be incredible to see that. And I think it actually starts to feel that we know the area that we were talking about. There was quite a lot of. It didn't look like it, but there was quite a lot of man-made lakes there in the Cotswolds in England. But you know, the fact that wildlife seems to be thriving. We certainly had in the last few years through the pandemic, obviously people weren't going in their cars, you know, pollution and that. We did see a real explosion of nature, and that includes around our riverbeds and you know, people would go for walks. They would do a lot more of that sort of thing because they needed to get out. There seemed to be a bit more of an appreciation of nature and as I say, and you know, walking along a riverbank somewhere and seeing all these different creatures, it's just an incredible thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wondered whether you were going to actually confirm that or not for me.
No,
but I mean,
David Attenborough's been doing an interesting documentary about British wildlife recently, isn't he?
Yes.
And one of the things, some of the bits in there has been about rivers. It's really just...
Well, I think people...
When you stop and look at a river, and this goes for anywhere really, but when you actually stop and pay attention, because it's one thing you just go and have a look at a river.
Yeah.
Especially the Thames, I guess, because the Thames, if you go to certain parts of the Thames we're used to, used to the Thames estuary, yeah, you can get seals in there. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Seeing seals. And occasionally a stray humpback whale or something like that.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, they don't always survive. And if you go to London, again, it's like a concrete river at that point. But the further down you go, you start head towards the Cotswolds, because that's where it starts, doesn't it, around the Cotswolds. If you'd actually just stop and look, and I guess this goes for when we were in Dorset as well, we're talking about the kingfisher, and if you just stop and pause and look at what's going on in that river, rather than just this flow of water, if you take a moment and let your eyes almost focus on the minute things, it's an incredible thing going on, that ecosystem and all this different stuff.
Well, I think
it's very easily missed, a lot of it, and just day to day.
Yeah, and I think our lives and the way we live our lives, I think people have taken a little bit of a step back more recently because of things like the pandemic. That they've, you know, to actually appreciate these things. And there's a lot of talk at the moment, and there's a lot of celebrities coming out and saying about the state of our rivers. A lot of saying about how much pollution, you know, how there's still a lot to be done, which is only a good thing. I know people, there's certain people in this world that kind of don't like to be told what to do. It doesn't matter what it is, they just don't like to be told. But it's got to be a good thing. It's got to be to look after those places, to be able to appreciate them, to see what, if you do look after them, if you do the right, and it's simple stuff, what a difference it makes, you know?
Mm.
I mean, I've always been fascinated. This what a statement to make. I was just about to say I've always been fascinated by running water, But I have. The sound
you
of
should see him. He takes ages running that bath.
I just stand and stare at it. It's incredible. And then I let it out and I do it again. It's a real waste. But no,
it messes with our Wi-Fi as well.
Waterfalls and if you're somewhere and you can hear the water flowing. I mean, we live near the estuary, the sea, whatever. Yeah, it is the estuary. But
if you go in the back room, I haven't topped up the fish tank.
Oh yeah,
so it's making
that just
a running
makes me want to go to the toilet. But there's, you'll go to Southend and you'll hear the waves lapping. There's something really incredible about that sound.
Noise, please?
I'm not really good at it.
Dad's been practicing some things recently.
I have.
Because he's been going... like the thing they used to do in 60-minute makeup, they go...
Yeah, that's it. I've got
He can't do it quite so fast.
In my head, that's absolutely perfect. Nice.
Your turn. Don't know why it's so funny.
I don't know why it's so funny. All right, look. One thing that my dad used to always tell me, and we'd go to holidays in certain places, and you go to it might have been somewhere like Wales, and there'd be a river there, and it'd be crystal clear, and I'd say about drinking it because I'd think it looked.
Yeah,
I mean, it's you can look at something and it could appear to be dirty, and it's not. Basically, it can be just a silt being kicked up or whatever. If you think about the estuary, it's not necessarily that it's dirty. It's just that it's what it's kicking up. It's what it's going through. And he used to always say, "Don't drink that." Well, all right. He used to say, "Don't drink that." So why? Because he used to tell me, further up in the hills and the mountains and that, sheep will be weeing in it and pooing in it and whatever in it, and other animals, and that will come down there, and that's what you're drinking.
I mean, it's true.
It is true, but it can't be. Surely drinking from something like we went to...
Dad, I've been with you.
Yeah.
When we climbed up Snowdon,
yeah,
you needed a wee on our way back down, so you stopped and weed.
I didn't wee into a little stream though, did I?
Yeah, but there were streams all the way down that mountain, and all it would take it just to flow slightly, and it's already in the stream. If you'd gone down the
but it's so fast flowing, surely.
Wee.
Really, if I'd have got down that quick.
If you'd gone down quick enough.
What a horrible thought.
All this river talk has given me a hankering for a musical number.
For a musical number, that's just great, isn't it then?
What musical number could it be, Dad?
What musical number? Well, I've written a song. It's a statement about the pollution of our waterways, but in a little bit of a fun way.
Yeah.
But what I need to say before you play the song is that we've had some complaints, haven't we, in the past, about people playing this stuff in their cars, and we've put sirens on or something like that, and they've gone, "Oh my God, I thought I was getting pulled over by the police," or something like that, because one of our stings or something like that. So as a way of a warning for this song, you're going to hear a toilet flushing. You'll hear simulated water sounds and a ship's horn, right? So if you're out on a boat at the moment listening to this podcast, what I might suggest is you come to port and just moor up for a little while you listen to it. There won't be any confusion.
So if they're in the middle of the channel...
If they're in the middle of the channel, I'd pause now, either fast forward it past the song, or go to dry land and listen to the rest of it on dry land.
Okay. And when I said this is going to be a musical number, it's going to be a musical number 2.
It certainly is. And it's going to be called, or rather it is called, Floater Down the Thames.
So this tale begins. His little body it trembled, but his heart began to sing. This dude he dreamt of the oceans as he passed through Abingdon. He waved at all of the wildlife, he was really having fun. I may be a turd, but I got aspirations. I may be a stool, but I've got my own mind. Excited to be on this aquatic adventure. Who knows what this old poo will find? He passed the globe and the abbey as he bobbed along the Thames. He made his trek through Tilbury docks, he was near the river's end. He got a glimpse of Southend Pier, he was happy as a turd could be. It was only a matter of time, he'd be entering the open sea. I may be a turd, but I've got aspirations. I may be a stool, but I've got my own mind. Excited to be on this aquatic adventure. Who knows what this old poo will find? I may be a turd, but I've got aspirations. I may be a stool, but I've got my own mind. Excited to be on this aquatic adventure. Who knows what this old poo will find?
It's a sea, it's a sea. Oh, that's a big boat. Game time.
What a terrific song.
Thank you.
Shall we play a game about rivers?
We shall.
Please,
I have.
Dad?
Yes, all right, yes. I have a quiz about rivers and the general river area. Because I really realised I went a little bit off.
That's not like you.
Yeah, I know. I don't usually get distracted and go on to something else. But
how many questions are there?
There are. There's 10 questions.
You've got 3 sheets of paper. Do you not print double-sided?
No, apparently not.
He also prints everything, so
yeah,
you can read it better.
Do you know something else as well?
What?
I don't seem to have printed the quiz. But
that's all right.
You know,
do you reckon you could gather the questions during the sting?
I will do exactly that then. Right, so it's going to be a quiz about rivers in the river area. The sting, again, may contain duck noises and sounds of the river, right? So play that sting.
Let's take a stroll along the river bank. I wonder what we'll see. What's that floating into view? It's a quiz put together by me.
Right, have you gathered your notes?
What do you think of the sting?
Oh, it was a lovely sting.
Yeah, I had the notes all the time. I was only joking.
Oh, really? Is that why you rushed out the room to go and find them?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. One thing I would say is I did originally have an idea for this quiz, which was going to play you sounds of certain rivers around the world, and then you had to guess what river it was, because I thought that would be funny and really aggravating.
Irritating, yeah.
Well, I would say it wouldn't have aggravated you. It would have relaxed you so much, because I did listen to quite a lot of stuff and kept nearly dropping off.
Oh,
so
right,
if you ever want to do that, that's the way to go. Right, ready?
Yep.
Question 1. Picture yourself here, right? Close your eyes. I'm on a boat and floating down a river through a city centre. On my right is a tall metal structure, but further down the river on my left is a strange pyramid made of glass. What river am I on? You can open your eyes now. Am I on the Thames? Am I on the Seine? Or am I on the Nile?
You're on the Seine
And where would I be?
in Paris.
That is absolutely correct. Well done.
Is it the Louvre? No.
It is the Louvre, which is
Louvre,
the sort
Glass
of
pyramid.
And obviously, what
The
was
Eiffel
the other?
Tower.
Yeah, well done. I obviously painted a very good picture there.
I did close my eyes as well.
You did? Oh no, I was watching. Question 2.
Do you want me to close my eyes again?
No,
What happens if I do?
it doesn't make any difference
I'm
because
going to
it's
close my
very
eyes then.
audio. Okay. The Clifton Suspension Bridge crosses over what river? Is it A, the Avon? Ding dong. Is it B, the Mersey? Or is it C, the Tyne?
Avon is Stratford. Why, isn't it?
Where you get Stratford upon Avon. Yeah.
Not Stratford as in Stratford, but Stratford upon Avon.
Yeah.
Two different places. Really confusing, actually. One was where Shakespeare was born, and the other one is where Westfield Shopping Centre is and West Ham Stadium.
Yep.
And the Olympics. Tyne.
Oh, you're just going to go with that guess. You've done all of that work around the Avon, and then you said Tyne.
Yeah.
So where is the Tyne? Can you think of any places that got Tyne in there? Do you? But no, actually, let's take this back. Do you know what the Clifton Suspension Bridge is?
It's Bridge.
Yeah. Do you know where it is?
Clifton?
Do you know where Clifton is? If that was the
It's
case,
it's over the Tyne.
no, it isn't. It's over the Avon.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh my goodness! Because really, that's what you need to identify at first. We know from our song, and when we've looked at things like the Amazon, rivers go on forever and go through very
Not forever.
well, no, but they go on for a long while.
Yeah.
So the Avon stretches all the way from the southwest coast through, further.
Yeah, but the
Right.
Thames goes to Cotswolds, doesn't it?
Huh?
Thames goes to Cotswolds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of the number 3?
Okay.
God dear. Which of these I'll start that again. Question 3. Which of these rivers is the wettest?
Okay.
Right. Is it A, the Amazon, B, the Rhine, or C, the Zambezi?
What?
Which of these rivers
I don't
is the
understand how
wettest?
I can mention this question. I'm going to go for the Amazon because it's the biggest.
It is the Amazon because 20% of the Earth's fresh water is in the Amazon. So it's by that fact alone, it's the wettest. It's got the most wet. Question 4. The
You're
Bear
right.
Mountain and the George Washington bridges are just 2 of many that cross which river?
Toblerone.
What? Bear Mountain. Oh, God.
Yeah.
A, the Hudson. B, the Mississippi. Or C, the Colorado.
What was the Bear Mountain and the what?
George Washington bridges are just 2 of many that cross which river?
Say the 3 again in quick succession.
Hudson, Mississippi, Colorado.
Okay. Mississippi?
No, it's the Hudson,
Oh.
New York. Okay. Oh, dear. Right.
Don't know America.
Okay.
very well.
No, that's fine. And I do.
And also
look,
the UK.
and yeah, you don't know much about anything. But looking through
Oh,
this
thanks.
quiz, this is much more like a quiz than the normal. Okay, question 5. Which
Apart
of
from the wet question.
Oh, there we go. It does change. Which of these bridges does not cross the Thames in London? Is it A, Chelsea Bridge? Is it B, Putney Bridge? Or is it C, the Golden Plate Bridge? Just when I thought.
Is it the Golden Plate Bridge?
It is the Golden Plate Bridge.
You know what you could have got away with if you said the Old London Bridge?
Yeah.
Because that one
But if I
used
said
to
the old
cross.
London Bridge,
Because that one used to cross the Thames, but
Yeah.
now it lives in America.
somewhere like Arizona or something
Yeah,
like that.
just in the middle of nowhere.
It was. I think they've actually built a
Because they
river to go
they
through.
thought it was Tower Bridge, didn't they?
Well, the person who bought it reckons that wasn't the case. In the end, they said that, but they would say that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Stupid. Question 6. What is unusual about a bridge near Castrop Reuel in Germany? Is it A, that it's for hedgehogs? Is it B, that it doesn't meet in the middle? Or is it C, it's made of recycled nappies or diapers, depending on where you are in the world?
It doesn't meet in the middle.
That is correct. It doesn't meet in the middle. Because usually you see these
What
bridges...
did you just say there?
I said, I meant to say it doesn't meet in the middle, but I didn't say that because I started thinking about something else, like what I always do. So you often see bridges that have been built but don't really join onto anything. So they're there above motorways and that, and you see them and they don't appear to go anywhere because whatever happened when they were being built, perhaps they don't need it as it was, or something changed, or money run out. But the money run out on this one, but the money run out where they've got the both end bits, but the middle bit's missing. Which is what I said at the very beginning of that. Right, question 7. I like to test myself. The Beipanjiang Bridge in southwestern mountains of China towers above the river and is the tallest bridge in the world. But how high is it? So the Beipanjiang Bridge in southwestern mountains of China. Is it 1,654 feet high? Is it 1,754 feet high? Or is it 1,854 feet high?
1,854 feet high.
Is that because I said that wrong?
No, that's because it was the last one.
Yes, that is correct.
And it's the
well
tallest
done.
out of the 3.
Yep, that is right. Question 8. Well, whizzing through these.
We are going through this right quick.
We are. What river is believed to be the oldest in the world? Is it the 8?
Do you want to just take a break? Breathe. You can do this. You can do this.
Question 8. What river is believed to be the oldest in the world? Is it A, the Fink River? Is it B, the Fort River? Or is it C, the Fart River?
Nice. The Fink River.
You think it's the Fink River?
No, I think it's the Fort River.
You think it's the Fort River?
Yeah.
It is the Fink River. I love it when you do that. It's thought to be 350 to 400 million years old.
And are you going to fit the word fart in there at some point?
No.
Oh, okay.
Question 9. Which of these was found submerged in the River Thames? Was it A, a stretch limousine? Was it B, an elephant skeleton? Or was it C, a giant Michael Jackson statue?
Oh, it could be any of those. I'm probably going to eliminate the giant Michael Jackson statue.
Right.
I would say the stretch limousine is... See, the thing is, yeah, if you look at the ice fair, the old, you know when the Thames used to freeze over and they used to have fairs on top of the ice?
Yeah.
They used to have elephants.
Yeah,
on
I know that, yeah.
Yeah. There also used to be elephants indigenous to the UK, the straight-tusked elephant. I'm going to go for the elephant skeleton because there's been tusks found of elephants local to here, so it would make sense.
Wow. Well, this is what happens when you sort of take a question.
I mean, limo's
instead
very
of just
likely
blurting out an answer, you actually put some thought into it, so bring in some scientific fact. So it was not an elephant skeleton; it was a giant Michael Jackson statue.
Oh, was it really?
Come on. I love the fact that you ruled that out straight away, and then you made a really plausible argument for it being an elephant skeleton. And I'd actually thought, but the reason I put that in was because of the ice fairs they used to have, and I knew that they...
The limo is very possible.
Yeah, of course.
There's a good chance that all 3 of them could have been found there.
Maybe, but that's the one that I was talking about. It was a giant Michael Jackson
So if I
statue.
go to Google it and they've said they found the other 2, then strictly speaking, I am right.
Yeah, and if you want to do that, that's great. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Because
No.
I'd never take much notice of how much you've got on this anyway. Right, and here's
We did score it like once or twice.
Yeah, we did once or twice, but not anymore, really. Question 10. Believe it or not, the River Thames has a diverse cross-section of wildlife, but which of the following are and are not likely to be found? And I'll put a caveat, not animals that may have fallen in accidentally.
Oh, right.
Right? Because, you know, things that happen. So I've got a number of these. right? And I just want you to say yes.
How many of them? It's counting.
12.
12. Okay.
So I want you to tell me whether they are to be found. Yes, they are to be found in
So
there.
when you said this has got 10 questions, this quiz, you said 10 questions, but it's
Kind
part
of.
10's also got 12 parts to it.
Yeah, but it's quite quick. We can go through this quite
That's
quick.
fun. We've got plenty of time.
All right, okay.
I mean, last week's episode was an hour and 17 minutes, so we've got plenty of time.
Oh,
for
have
a
we? Oh,
comparison.
right, okay. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Don't know if the people listening do, but...
What?
What?
A.
Eh?
Seals.
Yes.
B.
In the Thames.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B.
Are you going to tell me if I'm right or wrong?
I'm going to tell you if you're wrong.
Okay.
B. Seahorses.
Ooh. Yeah.
C. Beavers.
Yeah.
No.
What?
No beavers.
Not
No,
anymore.
we just talked about that.
Yeah, but you know the lake we were at?
Yeah,
you know the
that
lake in the
isn't the
Cotswolds?
Thames.
No, but it's directly next to it.
It is. Well, I just said not animals that have fallen in
Yeah,
the
but like,
Thames. I didn't say animals that are adjacent to the Thames. I said animals that actually live in the Thames or around the Thames, but really close to it.
around the
I
Thames.
realised what you were going to go for there, but really close to it.
It's really
but no,
close to it.
beavers.
It's literally within walking
Yeah, but
distance.
we've
like-
placed beavers there. These are not natural to that Thames. Don't argue with the quizmaster. You got that one wrong.
Right.
D. The starry smooth hound shark.
Yes.
E. The blue fin shark.
No.
F. The river penguin.
No.
Hang on.
That's just someone who's dropped their lorry of penguins into the...
Yeah.
That, by the way, chocolate bar,
Something's
not batch of
happened
penguins.
to this quiz, right?
Yeah, right at the end.
Because G. More seahorses.
Yeah.
H. Eels.
Oh, great question. No.
There are eels in the Thames.
Whereabouts?
Different parts.
You don't know the
I.
answer.
Honey bears.
No.
J. Oysters.
Yeah.
K. I've got to be careful saying this. The mulled wangy.
What? Say-
Wanky.
What?
The mulled wanky. Wanky. MULDEWANGK.
Wouldn't it just be wank then?
Well, yeah. All right, mouldy wank. K.
yes.
Mouldy wank. No, that's an Australian. It's an Australian mythical beast.
All right. Okay.
All right. L. Otters.
Otter. Yes.
And I'm just going to
Same place as
add
the
another
beavers.
one on the end there. M. Seahorses.
Yeah. More seahorses.
More seahorses. Well done. You didn't do too badly in that, actually.
That
Whether
last
some
bit
of
at
them were
least.
guesses or
I
not.
noticed that most of your quiz questions were bridge based.
Yeah, this is where it went, right? So I started doing the quiz, and you have to... No, it's not as easy as you might think. I know you don't normally do them, but you start thinking, right, what can I do for a quiz? So you start off and you think, right, rivers. So you think, right, a fact about a river or something unique about a river around the world or something like that. And then I got a couple that I thought, oh, I could say what bridges go over these rivers. And then I forgot I was doing a podcast on rivers and started thinking I was doing a podcast on bridges. And then I started looking up all things about bridges and including a number of bridges that don't actually go over the top of rivers.
Yeah.
So that would have been even
pointless.
more pointless. So I had to ring it back in.
So when we do our
Reel it
podcast
back
on
in,
bridges, you're going to have to start doing a
rivers.
rivers quiz.
Yeah, under this bridge. What runs under this bridge? Yeah, there you go. That's the end of my little river quiz.
I enjoyed it.
Yep.
Yep.
Great.
Oh, and that brings this episode to a close, I think.
Does it really?
Yeah, because it's actually... this has been a shorter one as the ones we've done recently, which is probably more reasonable and more doable in people's busy schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You reckon so? There's no correspondence at all?
Oh, yes. No. Sorry, the podcast isn't over yet. We had an email.
I just thought, I seem to remember you saying something about someone writing to us.
Yeah, my apologies. You're not free to go yet because we've got an email come through. This email is from a listener of ours.
Yes.
It's from Andrew.
Okay.
Andrew has said his subject is Irish.
So it's the podcast we did on Ireland last week.
No.
It's the podcast we did on Ireland 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because last week's the podcast that was released today, which is Mother's Day.
What? God's... Yeah, gone.
Yeah, anyway. Subject, Irish.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to come in straight away and say that the name of the podcast was actually Ireland.
Ireland, yeah.
So,
he needs to check his facts, doesn't
he? Yeah,
he?
he needs to check his facts. His message. Did you really talk about Irish bands at length and not even remember Thin Lizzy, Boomtown Rats, or the Pogues? Must have been my headphones playing up.
Right.
That's the end.
Okay.
Of his little message.
Of his little message. Well, there's a couple of things there. One, we never do a comprehensive sweep of a particular subject. If he's listened to this, I think he's listened to many others. He should know that by now. And the other thing is, I'm starting to think no one listens to the songs.
Yeah.
Because in the song for Ireland, which was called The Song for Ireland, I mention many Irish bands, including Bob Geldof, i.e. the Boomtown Rats, the Pogues, who had a little tea shop, Enya, U2, Bewitched... All the greats, the Cause. Yeah. I know Thin Lizzy and that. I didn't mention them, but, I was trying to find out what would rhyme with other things, and there's not a lot that rhymes with Lizzy, except Dizzy, which I could have used. Boyzone, Westlife, they were in there. So I think that's a bit unfair. But, next time I do any sort of feature on the musical output of a country, I'll try and make it a bit more comprehensive. I do apologise.
What, include every single band that ever was
every band that's on there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's going to be a long list, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Well,
okay.
If, like Andrew, you would like to send us a comment, question, suggestion or complaint, you can do so on the website fatherandsundays.com and then go to the Contact Us page, or you can email us at contactus@fatherandsundays.com. Website's a great place though, because you've got all the episodes available there, but you can listen on your chosen podcast platform, Spotify, Apple, or whatever one you use. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like and follow us on those and share.
Okay.
And yes.
That's it.
There is other stuff, but you can find out more on our website, fatherandsundays.com. There's actually loads of stuff on the website that might be helpful to people.
Excellent.
Including charity stuff.
Excellent. Have a look at that. All right. So if that's that, I guess I'm just going to say bye till next week.